Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Ranking of Shmups. Unfortunately, when I streamed this episode out, I had some sort of technical issue that prevented my voice from being heard on the stream, but yet my co-commentators could hear it. So for the first 30 minutes of the stream, you will not be able to hear what I am saying. Now, I figured that I either had to make this little introduction, which is what I'm going to be doing, or try and dub in what I remembered me saying, but that wouldn't be that great. So I figured I'm just going to record a quick little description of the games and kind of my overall thoughts and kind of explain where I put it on the ranking and why I did. Now, that being said, why don't I give you some brief explanations of the two games and also a correction to something I said later on in the video. The first game we take a look at this episode is Silver Surfer on the NES. A game by Software Creations, and one that is well notorious for its high difficulty and, well, incredibly unforgiving gameplay. My overall thoughts on it is that it is a very basic shmup. I mean, it would have been competent. However, there's some things that prevent it from being really good. Namely, that enemies take way too much damage, and that your hitbox is ginormous. Your entire sprite is a hitbox, which on vertical scrolling levels, with the fact that you're on a surfboard, a very long object, that makes it very easy to get hit or run into obstacles. Also, there is some very unpleasant looking level designs, and also the fact that there is some confusion sometimes about what exactly is ground and what exactly is not ground, which prevents it from being, well, good. It actually makes it more frustrating to play it's more frustrating to play than, and it's really hard to squeeze out any entertainment of it. There are far better games on the NES. So that being said, the person who developed the soundtrack, or wrote the soundtrack rather, of this game is Tim Follin, who is very well known in both the C64 scene, I believe that's where he got his start, but also for working on several NES games like Target Renegade, Kiwi Craze, which was the Western port of the New Zealand story, developed by Taito, and a few other games. He is very well known for making fantastic music, and this, if there's anything to be said about Silver Surfer, is that it has a fantastic soundtrack. Absolutely top-notch. Probably one of his better soundtracks. The only one I can think of off the top of my head that I'd say is better is probably Solstice. So that being said, rankings for Silver Surfer, the gameplay itself is rather low on our list. It is going towards the bottom. I'm actually recording this episode after I've done the episode after this. So right now, it is currently at 58, in between Laser Blast on the Atari 2600 and Zoom 909 by Sega in the arcades. So that is pretty low on our list. It's within the bottom 10. Soundtrack, on the other hand, it is currently at the third slot, in between the Speed Rumbler and Fantasy Zone, which I definitely have no qualms about that. It's just a fantastic soundtrack. It's just a shame that the game couldn't have been better. And next up, we have an arcade game. This in a classic arcade game at that. Developed by Atari. This is 1980's Tempest. It is a vector game. I think one of the earlier vector games because it came out only a year after Asteroids. I believe that came out in 79. And it's one of the first games that started the genre of shmups called tube shooters, which is essentially, well, you're shooting stuff in a tube. It's kind of self-explanatory. And the reason I did that is because we will be looking at Gyrus, another tube shooter later on, and I felt that before I took a look at Gyrus, we kind of needed to look at where the genre of tube shooters started. Now, my thoughts on the game are, it's a pretty basic game. Kind of there's not a whole lot to say about it. You just move around and shoot stuff. The version that I was playing for this episode is actually in the SNES port of, I think it was Williams Arcade Classics or something like that. And it's actually a surprisingly good port. Obviously, it's not quite fully up to arcade standards. When you zoom out of a level, the frame rate drops dramatically, but other than that, that's not, everything else is pretty much perfect. Sound sounds exactly like it should. And it's just a really good port. And the game itself is, well, it's a 1980s arcade game. It's pretty basic. But it doesn't really have a whole lot of flaws to it. So with that, I put it at currently the 41 slot, in between Nightmare on the MSX and Dangerous Seed in the arcade. It's just in that ballpark of, well, this game isn't fantastic, but it's not bad either. And there is no sound. It's 1980. They didn't have... music wasn't invented yet, apparently. Well, it would have been hard to do it on the hardware that was around, but yeah. Now, I would like to make a quick kind of correction / kind of give you what I found on doing some research about one of the other games we played. So I played the game Cosmo Gang the Video, and one of the things that came up is, why is it called Cosmo Gang the Video? During the recording, I wasn't quite sure. I just figured, Cosmo Gang was done in a couple of other things, so I figured, this is just a video game adaptation of it. Well, it turns out the reason why it's called Cosmo Gang the Video, because this is a kind of based on another game made by Namco, which was just Cosmo Gang, the Unvideo in this case. Yes, so Cosmo Gang was first a redemption game in Japan, the kind of games that you get tickets out of for prizes. And lo and behold, it turns out that the bonus stages in Cosmo Gang the Video were video game replications of the redemption game. So, yeah, that's where that came from, and figured since I found that out, I figured you might find that interesting. Alright, with enough of this explanation out of the way, let's get on to the actual episode. And remember, you won't be able to hear my voice for the first 30 minutes. I apologize. I have no idea why that happened, and I am now very cautious on why it's doing that, so I'll be more aware of it in later episodes, so hopefully this won't happen again. Alright, thank you. Let's get on with the show.
Like that.
Oh
no!
Good. Not what I was expecting.
This game is infamous on the arcade pit.
It should be infamous everywhere.
This game punishes you for the simple act of trying to play it.
Kev. This is Marvel.
So, this is Marvel.
Yep.
He is was the Herald of Galactus, the Eater of Planets. He originated as Norin Rad from a planet, was taken by Galactus to become his new herald. He was given the power Cosmic, which is kind of a blank check. He can do a lot of stuff.
He can surf.
He travels by surfing. No one knows why they chose surfing, but it's what he does.
Yep.
And if I remember correctly, all the enemies in this game are actual Silver Surfer tangentially related enemies. So he's still the Herald of Galactus at this point.
Galactus in his stupid ass helmet.
That helmet is so good. That's like a Kirby design, I can tell. That is actually a really good eye shot for the NES.
Yeah.
Was this late NES? Yeah, it strikes me with all the different fade effects and the really good-looking cinematic graphics.
Is that the Hulk?
No.
Alright.
Let's Bret the Hitman Hart, please.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Weird Wolverine dude is Mephisto, who is kind of like Satan. He's like Marvel Satan. That almost looks like the Abomination, but that's supposed to be the Professor, apparently. Yeah. I don't know who the other two are supposed to be.
Yeah. We'll find out who he is.
Is there Mega Man dependencies?
Reptile.
Yeah, okay, so I think that's made for this game. I'm not familiar with Reptile. Let's just put that out there. One hit kills you. Yeah, that's what I seem to remember. And
That's
generally
useful.
there's like an upper channel and a lower channel you can go along.
Wow.
And no, Silver Surfer is he's like the ultimate glass cannon. He's got the power cosmic, but you tap him on the head and he's dead. Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, you got killed by the ducky. Yeah, no, if you touch a wall... This is a ridiculously hard game. Game 3, play through repetition. Like, the game's only like 6 levels long, but you're gonna play those 6 levels a lot.
Yep.
The aimable option is an interesting idea, and I don't know
Yeah.
that a lot of other shmups did that.
Especially not on the NES.
Oh, you killed the ducky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say the music is really good? Were they demo scene people? Because it sounds like demo scene music. Yeah, I can tell. Because this sounds like Future Crew music or something like that.
Yeah.
What?
You're stuck fighting Reptile. How about the fire guy? Or that guy, yeah.
Yeah, the Jolly Green Giant. Emperor. Oh, he's supposed to be like a Kree Emperor, maybe. Or, yeah, I think Creed.
Okay.
Top down. Their maneuverability.
long.
Yeah. That. Yeah, you got a lot more surfboard to worry about. You can clip walls and whatnot. This entire game kind of reminds me of like demo scene stuff, like the really good icons the enemies have.
Yeah. Oh wow.
It's the checkpoints seem to be very weirdly spaced too, because that wasn't very far in. I guess they realized their game is hard.
But there were no checkpoints on the reptile stage.
The spread cannons seem to be really a pain to deal with. Oh, now they do better. You got the option.
The orbs.
This game is really hard because it's really good looking for an NES game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can tell a lot of effort went into a lot of this stuff. Oh, I didn't catch any visual cue for the bomb. They also have shootable projectiles. I've seen you shoot some of the actual things that things fire. There you go.
Bumped into the wall. Good.
Shootable projectiles is something fairly advanced for an NES shooter.
Yeah. Yes.
This is wow. This is intense.
Colors.
Well, and the level of detail in the background, how everything is just nested and whatnot. That's really dense. I think you nicked the bottom.
Yeah.
I wish the gameplay was better. This would be a really good NES shmup.
And enemies take forever to die.
I just wish I'm gonna have to download the soundtrack for this because this is really good.
Yes. Oh.
Okay.
I'm familiar with that kind of. Yeah. Yeah. The devs knew. Yeah. The devs knew they needed to rock in soundtracks so you wouldn't just immediately break your cartridge in half.
This is really good. Is there a sound test menu?
Yeah.
Because this is super good music. Like I said, it gives you the demo scene vibe, something fierce. And that Emperor portrait right there is so well done. Yes, Firelord is a dude.
Yep.
Oh, interesting. Oh, really? Oh. Huh.
Oh, okay.
Trixie.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with that. It's kind of hot garbage in terms of gameplay.
Yeah. It has the makings of a good game, but it does not allow it to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My familiarity with laser glasses, yes.
Funny thing is, I came into this not thinking of Silver Surfer being a shmup, but it's 100% again.
That's like the most bland name for Iris. It's a bland ass name. Yes. I'd say put it as the new 3, yeah. Okay.
This was a really good soundtrack.
You can hear it. That's one of the best parts about it.
Yeah.
We've had plenty of, games where you can kind of hear it. Yeah.
Reptile is actually a Marvel Comics character. He's one of the cosmic characters.
I hope he's in the new Lego Marvel game. Yeah. Yeah. Oops.
Really?
Oh.
Is it representative of the arcade experience? Okay. Okay. so we can rank it fairly.
Yeah. My boy. Oh.
I have fond memories of Tempest.
Oh, is it? Okay, there we go.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
It was basically an oscilloscope.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
And like you said, you played it with a dial.
This is a
Yep.
Yes.
It's pretty
Yeah.
much exactly as I remember the arcade version being. That's different.
Oh, that's neat.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the first kind of shoot 'em up period. It's one of the first shooter kind of shoot 'em up games period. No,
Oh.
yes, that's well. I mean, I guess you could make the argument that maybe Centipede.
Yeah.
Yes. I could see the argument that maybe Centipede would be like a shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty early one. Oh, when you're traveling.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty bare bones, but it's very serviceable. Like the actual
Yeah.
shooting is really well done. I mean, like you can hear, there is absolutely no music. You've got sound effects, and that's about it. No, that is very much hitting my nostalgia sound bank.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a great game, and there was nothing like this. The vector graphics. You have to imagine you're used to like Pac-Man and that level of pixel graphics, and you go and see this, and there's like it's all straight lines. There's no jaggedness to them. It's just ridiculous how different this was. It's really good, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Were vector screens just very expensive that you wouldn't want to use them too often, or
They were really good for certain types of things like oscilloscopes, and I think it was really hard to make a game that really utilized it well.
okay, true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This would be fairly limiting in terms of what you're able to do. No, we
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep.
We could hear you before.
For some reason, it's not. Oh, I think it's there now.
weird.
What was happening?
Apparently, my mic isn't being picked up on stream.
For how long?
I don't know. Okay. Okay. Must have been my voice meter screwing up or something. Hopefully that doesn't break in their actual recording.
Yeah.
But Lord knows
We
it probably
will
is.
hope.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so yeah, Tempest. Ranking that? I mean, it is still pretty basic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's interesting.
I would definitely say I'm just trying to think of where I'd put it. I'd put it above Defender. I'm
Yeah.
I'm kind of probably put it above Dangerous Seed.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the granddaddy of shooters.
Oh, 1983. Thinking of the game that we're going to do next. And then I'm not putting that on the soundtrack because there was no soundtrack.
There literally was no soundtrack.
Yep.
All right, next game.
Asteroids had more of a soundtrack.
If you can even call it that. All right,
Barely.
so this is the game that I actually got you. Well, one of the two games that I got you in here. Because I remember streaming this very early on in my streaming career.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured now that I'm actually talking about Shmups, I figured we better talk about this one. This is Gyrus.
Oh, this is
Ooh.
my game.
Let me turn this up a little bit. So why don't I actually go, I'm going to hit some credits in here. So this is a 1983 Konami game, and this is the reason why I did Tempest. So this is a tube shooter, and I figured explaining tube shooters without doing Tempest first just didn't seem right. So why don't we actually go ahead and start?
It starts off with Toccata and Fugue in D
Yes,
minor.
the entire music in this
Yes.
game are remixes of Toccata and Fugue.
I had this on the C64, and the C64 SID chip was great. and I used to just love listening to the Toccata and Fugue.
So this actually isn't the version that I'm familiar with most.
It's the main version.
This is the arcade version.
Yeah.
This is a 1983 game, and this actually is a game that actually was a first in arcades. I do not know if you can hear it, because I hope it's coming through in the stream, but this is the first arcade game to ever have stereo sound.
Yep. You can hear it. The,
Okay.
The shooting's kind of on one side, and you're hearing the music more on the other.
Yep. So this is kind of... so basically what you're doing is you are going throughout the solar system trying to get back to Earth. So now we have gotten to Neptune.
Yep. Now you've got the chance stage. Or the bonus stage everywhere else.
Yep.
And so enemies come in at the top, and they get further and further down the tube, and they'll stay down there until the end of the stage when they'll come back out. And so you get 2 different chances to shoot these guys.
Nice.
It was really cleverly done. And the starfield coming in from the center always looked really good too. 3 warps to Uranus.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh no.
So one thing that maybe this just might be also I think the comment I was about also one thing that I always thought was neat that was neat was when you do a challenging stage, at least I'm pretty sure that's how it is, the challenging stage will always show the pattern for how enemies come in the next stage.
Nice.
That definitely is certain for another thing we might see. Well, actually, not might. We will see later on. Be a little heads up.
Oh, I love the music is just so good.
Yes.
Up.
You can't see it, but I'm fake keyboard rocking out over here.
You can do a lot with classical music,
Yes.
especially when you remix it.
This like Toccata and Fugue especially, such a good track.
Yes.
There's a lot there, and it had different kind of movements in it. Yeah, you got to start watching out for the asteroids coming up, because I don't think you can destroy those.
Yep. Yep, you can't destroy those. Also, I think I've seen it try and spawn. Oh, yeah, right here. We got this little gate enemy, which you can
Oh,
shoot,
yes.
shoot one of them. It
Or
will,
just avoid it entirely.
Yep.
But it's nice that they do things with the whole tube thing, where you can just avoid enemies or asteroids and whatnot. Get that power up.
Yep, hopefully I can get to your enemies. Okay. Yep.
There you go.
So if I
Made
want,
it.
am I correct? This game will show its age in a second.
Oh.
That was close.
Oh, no. Almost.
Man, the sound
So,
design
yeah.
of this game was so good.
Yes.
The different enemies making different noises.
Oh, did they not? Huh.
Pluto would have been further out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I could have sworn that Pluto was in here.
It may be in other versions. It doesn't seem to have been-
Because, yeah, that's the thing I'm thinking of. The version that I'm familiar with has Pluto in
Was it the C64?
it. No.
Or the NES?
It was the NES version.
Yeah.
Could have been,
I mean, you might have started at Pluto.
maybe.
It's possible. Usually it's the furthest planet, depending on its weird eccentric orbit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about space for a little while, shall we?
Yes.
Ah, space.
So, yeah.
A lot
That's
of
Gyrus.
it.
I cannot objectively rank this game. This game is one of my favorites.
And I'm definitely going to say it's a fantastic game for 83.
It stands up.
It's just one of the really good, competent shooters.
Yeah.
It's difficult enough that even if you picked it up now, you're not going to breeze through it like some games from the 80s.
I feel like it's definitely in the top 5. Maybe even top 3. Probably top 3.
I don't think it's top 5 worthy, though. I was thinking... what I was thinking was, like, right next to Puyan and Baraduke. Because I think Bosconian is a better game. But I don't know if it's better than Puyan.
Was Puyan that game where the people in the trunks and you shot across at them?
They are.
I'd
Puyan
say
is
it's
a game
better
where you're a
than
pig on the
Puyan.
right and you're going
Yes,
up and
that's
down
right.
shooting.
Okay, yep.
I
played
would
that on
say
the
better than
64 too.
Puyan.
Yeah.
Better than Puyan?
Yeah.
'Cause
Like I said, I can't be
I will say
objective,
that
but
Bosconian is a better game than this. But still.
where I'm going to fight you, Lolo, is in the OST.
Well, I'll have reservations for this version for a very specific reason. Also, if I didn't mention it, this is a Konami joint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Konami had some great shooters.
Yes, I did. So soundtrack.
And also they had great music in shooters.
Yes.
How about below a UN Squadron?
I can deal with that.
Yeah.
It's not like it was original, but damn, is it good.
Yeah, it's what you do with it.
Even like the C64 version was a really well rendered version of Toccata and Fugue.
Yeah.
So, I have two. And I'm going to put this on. So I'll let you have a choice. So there were two main games or like two longer games that I was thinking of doing this stream. One was kind of on this theme, or the other one is a kind of pseudo sequel to a game that we have ranked pretty high up.
I'm feeling the pseudo sequel, but I'll let Risen.
I'm curious what it's a sequel to.
Okay. So. Take a while to load. It's an arcade game.
Needs to warm up.
Yep.
Put the
The
chip in
tubes
the
are cold.
microwave.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, as we can already see from this is Battle Garagov.
Alright.
And we will see what it's kind of a sequel to in a second. Once.
It's got to count that RAM.
This is a 1996 game, so...
Much more recent.
Yes.
USA only.
Oh, you got to be careful with that.
Yep. Winners don't use drugs.
Yep.
Oh, it's Louis Freen.
Freen.
I'm used to the other guy.
The Rising game.
Hell yeah.
I'm
You
loving
can't
the
really
graphics.
see it from here, but this is the spiritual successor to kind of Kingdom Grand Prix and Sorcerer Strike.
Oh, nice.
Oh. Okay.
So
Oh, it's got the 1942 kind of
yeah,
view.
so rather than being like a fantastical thing, this is more of a like
Diesel
kind
punk.
of yes. Diesel
This
Punk is
looks
actually very
so
good.
already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I have it on free pay, so I'm kind of debating about showing a code first. Actually, why not do that? So if you input the Konami code, up, down, down, left, right, ABC start. So this is one of the things that this game is known for was the ability
It's got
to
an
edit
editor?
stages.
Whoa.
Oh,
Oh,
stage.
hold on one sec. Actually, whoop. Pause that real quick. Something is wrong.
Lolo's got to check his dip switches.
Start this because it rotated my joystick.
Oh no.
90 degrees or 180?
90 degrees.
Nice.
Oh.
Not
Okay,
even
let's
something
try
you
this
could
again.
really adapt to.
Okay. Oh, I did that wrong. Good.
96.
Okay.
Saturday, February 3rd, this version
Yes.
was burned.
All right.
Toasted? I guess toasted.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, ABC, start. There we go. We're not going to edit the stage, because all it does is it lets you change the order of which you play.
Yeah, change the order, yeah.
Yeah.
So, now that I put those code in, I can play as the Maho Daisakusen.
There you
sorcerer.
go.
Hell yeah.
But we're not going to do
Dragon.
that.
Oh, you can also... Oh, it gives you a second row. I see.
Wild
Yep.
snail.
So we are actually the golden bat. So, yeah, so... God, where do I even begin explaining this? It's a horizontal... Or it's a vertical scroll. There are a lot of mechanics to this game.
Holy shit. There's a lot just happening visually. Like the
The canyon city underneath us. The
Yep.
little bits flying off of everything you shoot.
Yep.
The giant explosions.
It's definitely reminding me of like Sky Captain in the world of tomorrow and similar things to that.
Like you said, it's very
Yep.
diesel punk.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
Also,
thing with
if
the
you,
giant arm, I love.
if you can't hear it, the soundtrack is also really good.
Oh, I can hear it.
Yeah.
So, what this, so from what I heard about the soundtrack is that it was inspired by, also I'm gonna let this track play, because this track's really good.
Oh, this is really good.
Okay, so,
This is
Inspired
almost
by-
a little bullet helly.
yeah, so we have reached the point, actually, rather than say that, so, at this point, this is not actually under the helm of the people who made, the the Sorcerer Striker and Kingdom Grand Prix games.
Yeah.
This is under, I forgot what it was named, but it is the guy that we mentioned, if you remember Rekka, the game that I did. Remember how
Yes.
we were talking about there was a guy who that one arcade wiki was labeled as God?
Yes, him.
This guy, that guy developed this.
Oh.
I really wish I knew what his name was. But
I can't
yeah,
remember
so
either,
the guy
but
who made Summer Carnival 92 Rekka is the main director for this. Someone who would eventually, at some point, leave Rising in order to join a little company by the name of Cave.
Ah, I can see it.
Also, if you haven't noticed, in the bottom left, I have those bombs, and it looks like I have a
Big
little
bombs,
tiny
little
bomb
bombs.
thing. Every 40 time I pick up 40 of those little tiny bullets, I get an extra bomb. Which, by the way, it's not really, and actually I shouldn't even call it a bomb, because they're kind of referred to as weapons, and every different thing has one, like a different
So
weapon.
that was that flamethrower you were just doing,
Yep.
which tracked enemies. What was really neat.
Now you were saying something about the soundtrack being inspired by something.
Oh, yes. So the soundtrack in this game was supposedly inspired by Detroit techno of the
Oh,
I can
late
hear
90s.
it. I can hear that, like deep house.
Yep. One thing that you kind of notice how I have those little side chips,
Yes.
Yes.
the option things. So this is a 3-button game. So I have my shoot, my bomb, and then if I hit this button, oh, okay, let me actually.
You explode.
Suicide button, huh?
No. That's actually one thing I will say about this is that they decided to, for the design of the bullets, make it not like brightly colored orbs. Like they actually kind of look like bullets.
Yes.
Which,
it looks
yeah,
like
I mean-
gigantic bullets.
which is kind of neat in a little bit of way, but the problem is that they're kind of hard to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are certain revisions of this game that actually make them look like actual orbs, but this is not those versions. So what I was saying about the buttons is if I hit the button, if I hit the third button, I can change how my ships suit.
Oh, nice. Focus fire, spread.
Yep.
The reverse shot. This game, your hitbox is the entire sprite, isn't it?
No, it is it is of the smaller era or smaller hitbox era.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So is it just the cockpit that you have to avoid getting hit?
Yes, probably.
Okay.
I want to say there's actually a thing where you get more points if you let the bullets graze your hitbox a little bit.
So it is like a bullet hell where they have actually a smaller
yes.
Because
I think you can kind of see it there.
Yeah, the patterns that are happening here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you can see the bullets go through my ship.
Yeah, I saw that. So would this predate what you would traditionally think of as games that actually label themselves as bullet hells?
This is I think past the era in which that would have first started.
Okay.
The bullet hell games I think at this point have started, but they have not become. They have not kind of enveloped the entire genre yet.
Okay.
This is still the era of the traditional shmup, but it is at the start of the transition.
It's where it's definitely changing, and I think it does a really good job about it.
Oh, yes. that giant ship, the ships you're flying over right now, the Howard Hughes fever dream ships that you're flying over are amazing.
So why don't I start to actually talk about the insane about the little tiny mechanics in this game?
Yes.
So
go for it.
I'm gonna actually pause the game real quick and show and watch game rank. So you see in the top left how it's rank 192?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So this game has a dynamic difficulty level.
Oh,
as you do
better
things,
you do.
As you do things, it will either increase or decrease your rank. The higher, or I believe it's the lower the rank, or the higher the rank, the harder the game is. So in that, enemies are more likely to shoot point blank at you. The amount of enemies, the amount of bullets they shoot, are all determined by your rank.
Wow.
One of the things I know that increases it is holding down the trigger, which is something that I'm doing, which I probably shouldn't be if I was actually playing this game right. Dying will lower your rank. So one of the things about this that's actually kind of neat is in actual score attack, actually playing this game somewhat competitively. You actually dying is something that you kind of want to do at certain points.
Really? To lower the rank?
To lower the rank in order to make the game more feasible.
Do you tend to feather the trigger as well? Like you only shoot when you need to shoot?
Yes. And that is, when I actually, I'll just kind of let this go. So that's one thing that you can actually do. By default, you have a kind of set rate of fire. But if, say for instance, I just tap the button really quickly for, I think it's about 2 seconds, that will actually increase the rate of fire on my auto fire.
Really?
So the faster you can tap, the faster you can make the game auto fire. Simultaneously, but the only downside of that is that will also make the game's rank go higher.
Huh.
Also, hoarding the bombs is another way to make the game harder. Also, one thing that each, like, when you start the game, if you know a special button combination, you can actually play the game in different modes. Like, there is one that makes it so that the game will automatically continue if you like actually finish it, so you can do multiple loops, because normally it would just end. So if you're doing like score attacks and all that.
Very considerate of them.
There's also different variations of each ship that you can do by pressing different buttons. Like the one that I'm playing, the Golden Bat,
Yes.
you can either get it by selecting with all 3 of the buttons, or by actually letting the timer go out, which is what I did. There is actually a mode that you can do. I believe it's if you hold down C while hitting start, you will actually make it so that your hitbox is even smaller.
Wow.
So, yeah.
It did a lot of stuff in this game that most people don't do.
Also, another thing, so like, you know how I was mentioning the option thing, like how I can select which different versions I have?
Yep.
If you because enemies spawn, like, they actually spawn like power-ups whenever they die.
Yeah.
If you let a certain amount of a certain 5 of a certain power-up pass by the screen, and then collect an option, it will actually unlock a special formation of option that you can't normally select.
Huh.
Like one of them is,
Wow.
it'll basically, the things will rotate across your, rotate around your ship. You can actually get the kind of the way that the options act in Gradius as a selected or a hidden formation.
Really?
Yeah. Which unfortunately,
This is a pretty deep game.
Yeah.
yes, this is an insanely deep game. I went and looked up like the strategies for this, and the forum post that I found was insanely intricate.
I believe it.
I mean, just with screen encoding and whatnot, sometimes those little bullets are really hard to see.
It's probably, the encoding probably isn't helping.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that you can do is actually kind of like Axley. You can use your own explosion as a weapon.
That's pretty neat. This is a boss rush?
Apparently.
Well, this is a fun boss.
That is
Ooh.
a pattern and a half. How are you supposed to do that?
I have no idea. Thing is, this isn't even anywhere near the final stage, too.
Mid boss. The Hugo Gernsback variety hours here.
Lord Tyrion makes a good point that your own bullets make enemy bullets hard to see because they're not counter.
So that's actually a reason why I didn't select any of the Sorcerer Strike characters. They actually make the problem a lot worse.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Because they actually shoot like fantasy projectiles that will actually cover up certain projectiles.
Oh, brutal.
Awful.
That first the first boss plane you were fighting, the one that you had fought previously.
Also, by the way, in case you haven't noticed, I actually have a dip switch on that actually gives me infinite lives.
Good.
Because one thing that I was kind of bummed about playing this is that the weapon variety is not very good. Like, you always have like the standard shot, but it kind of makes up for it with the weapon differential between ships. Like, I just happen to be like, that's what this enemy has that for this ship.
Yeah.
I like how little
Jeez.
ships escape from the ship.
Yep.
I like how they're basically the Nazi flying wing. The Horton flying wing.
Yeah.
The music is nice and urgent.
Yes.
The one thing I was thinking about with this is, yeah, you can definitely kind of actually see the Rekka, a little bit of Rekka in here.
Definitely.
Like that little quick shot. Oh, gee.
Ouch.
It's definitely one of those things where
I can almost see the reasoning behind like the Ikaruga light and dark shields absorbing bullets happening here, because you get these really tight patterns that you almost can't get through.
Yeah.
How do you adapt that?
they come out very suddenly too, so like it's brutally hard.
Yeah, it's entirely about memorization. Because eventually at some point, and also it's just having that focus where you are just looking at your ship.
Yeah, you're not looking
at anything else.
Enemies, which is a shame because it's a gorgeous game.
Yeah.
And the fact that you'd be doing anything other than paying attention to the sprites and the different layers and everything is sad.
I mean, this background, it's like one of the most simple that we've had so far, but even then it's interesting with like the lightning flashes.
Yeah, the cloud-to-cloud lightning strikes, and the way those little orbs pop out of the water was really nice.
Yeah.
Like you can see the shadow of them, and then they break the water, and then they open. Like, it's not just they appear. There's a lot of things shooting at you.
Yeah.
Yes.
This like reminds me of stuff more like Crimson Clover, where it's so much shit is going on in every single second of the game.
Yeah, like Lord Tyrion says, this game is made for people to watch. Like the people standing outside the arcade cabinet watching you play.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like. I watched a couple of the streams
So-
where Slowbeef was getting his handle on Crimson Clover.
And actually,
And
there's
I
one
feel
thing
that-
I should mention.
Yeah.
If you would want to actually play this, there were just some ports that came out. There was a really good one on the Saturn. That was unfortunately Japanese only.
Yeah.
But there's another port that is technically Japanese only, but due to the way that the system works, doesn't really matter. There's an enhanced port of this game for the PlayStation 4 that came out last year.
Really?
Yes. And that was actually one of the reasons I wanted to get a PS4, was to get the port of this game.
That's fair. That's why you were asking for other recommendations, I assume.
Yes,
like a while
because I'm
back.
like, I'm not buying a system just for Battle
Just for a
Garage.
shmup.
So who owns the rights to this game now? Is it Treasure or
No.
Cave?
I don't know actually. Now, there is something that, because I bet you it's Gmode owns the rights.
Oh.
Because it's probably whoever did the port of the PS4
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. You
I
want
want
me
to
to
say
look it
Gmode
up?
was that.
What is this called again? It was such a while.
Battle Garriga, which I believe is Italian for garage.
Battle Garage.
Oh jeez.
Oh, it's docking. That is so good. Oh, it uses little grappling hooks to pull itself into place.
Oh god, that is a lot of shots.
That is just such
This
a cool
giant horseshoe
enemy.
crab.
Oh my god, that is so good.
Also, I just remembered what the other.
Holy shit, Ethan's Forbes.
Pause this for a sec, because I'm just wanted to. Oh, there was another game that I actually forgot to load. Oh well.
Even Forbes has an article about how Battle Garriga came to the PS4.
Yeah. Well, that's. Is it a Paul Tassi article, by the way?
I didn't want to. I didn't bother to like whitelist
Oh, yeah.
or
Oh, yeah,
read
yeah.
anything. So
Yeah, that's right. I remember why I don't read Forbes articles. Well, other than
yeah.
other reasons.
I really like the way this boss works because normally it's a big boss that a little thing comes out of. This was a little boss that got docked with its mothership, which was really cool.
It is by Cave.
Oh, so Cave did it. Oh, that is actually really... Okay, so that's actually really good to hear that Cave actually owns all this.
Yeah, it seems like they would do good with it.
Because, yeah, someone has to own it, because that is actually another thing that... So... I think it was... I can't remember when. I think it was last week. I played Darius.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, I think during it, the most recent Darius that came out. Darius First Chronicles Saviors, I think. And there is a bunch of DLC for that game. Starring guests.
You can turn into basically any shmup ever.
Yes. One of the packs you can get is the Rising pack, which has Miyamoto from the Mahuda, the Sorcerer Striker games, and it has one of the ships from Battle Garrick.
Huh.
So yeah. And the best part is about that is that all the stage music in the... Jesus.
Holy this is bad.
Yeah. So one of the things about it was that's kind of great is that all the stage music is like remixes of like in-game music from here, except for the boss music, which just rips straight from the game.
Yeah.
Now, if I'd been playing this better, this wouldn't be as quite as ridiculous, but... Oh, Lord.
I would be kind of interested in buying this if it wasn't $69.99.
Wait, oh, the port is $69.99?
Yeah.
Wait, is that a physical copy?
Yes.
That includes a bunch of extra stuff.
Okay.
It's a Century Deluxe version. I want to say that there is a digital version. That is, I'm probably going to say it's cheap.
I'd hope.
And because the way that the PS4 works, you can get a Japanese account pretty easily. And
it says it's compatible with US systems from Region 3.
Yep.
So.
I like the Switch in that way.
Yeah.
So I should actually just say that this wouldn't be, I don't think it would be quite nearly as ridiculous if it weren't for the fact that I was playing this terribly.
What is this game? Is anyone familiar with a game called Too Dark?
Sure.
Yeah. It says it's from the creator of Alone in the Dark.
Oh, I think there's a Kickstarter for that. I want to say that someone like, oh, let's make a Alone in the Dark, but in the vein of like the old ones.
Yeah, like on Amazon they have a limited edition with an art book and steel book case and a remastered soundtrack. Wait, why a remastered soundtrack?
This game is, like, I enjoy shmups, but this is not a shmup that I would be any...
No, I'd be really bad.
Yeah. This is just starting to get a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it is really good looking, and you can tell they put a lot of thought into how the ships are and how these enemies will come out.
But I will also go ahead and stress, it's probably this ridiculous because I made it this ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of the part of it.
I mean, you're at rank 64 right now.
Yes. But remember, it starts at 256.
Yeah.
And there are things that I could be doing to lower it.
This is it's a really interesting game, and it is definitely an unforgiving bullet hell.
Yes. A physical edition instead of only something that I would like put on like a shelf or something if I wasn't a poor college student and could justify that purchase.
Yes.
Like this pattern right here with the large bullets and then the small bullets interlacing them. Nope.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Some of the bullet hell stuff in like Nier Automata kind of put me off playing a bullet hell for a while.
Yeah, this is intense.
Yeah, I think I actually might stop after this boss.
That's fair.
It is really ambitious though. Like the arms on this thing.
Yeah. Like, and the thing is that part of it, like, is we're considering, like, oh, is this, like, ranking this? I'm thinking this still, as hard as this game is still top 5. Probably. Or maybe at least top 10.
I mean, mechanically, it's extremely good. Graphically, audio, like, it's a really good game.
Yeah.
And I know there are people out there that like these unforgiving shmups, and this would be like top tier for that.
Yeah.
I like
Because
how
if
it's
I'm, like,
placing each of the turrets.
ranking this, like, against... Let me actually, multitask. How's it? Well... Yeah, I'm not sure. Pause it. I don't know how long this stage is going to be, and we have other games to do.
Yep.
Okay, so... ranking this. Battle Garaga. Let's put the ranking up. So our top 5... rating, so, it's definitely not... Well, let's just look at tech. So Bosconian.
Yeah.
I think it's better than Bosconian, better than Sections Z on the NES. Speed Rumbler. I would say better than UN Squadron. I'd also say better than Gunak. Twinkle Star Sprites.
I would almost put it beneath UN Squadron just because UN Squadron's a little bit more forgiving.
There is that barrier to entry that it doesn't really... It starts off easy, but the easy part is like 10 seconds, and then it's just
It
bullets.
sucks you in, and then,
I could get behind that, but I mean, it's your list.
Like, it's definitely a good
you put
game, but I feel like its difficulty is a bit...
I kind of want to say it's a little better than UN Squadron just in terms of that version. The arcade version of UN Squadron, if you put it in that angle...
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at, like, because I'm thinking, like, it's like Sorcerer Striker and Kingdom Grand Prix. But one thing about those games is that those games have a whole lot of charm to them.
Yeah. They're a
Whereas
little bit
this-
easier, too.
You're about to say they're a little more approachable than this.
They
one
are
would
of
be.
the older school of
Yeah.
Hell.
This one is definitely like neck deep in bullet hell.
Yeah, if you put it like that, I would say, actually, I kind of agree with you on that point.
Yeah, like, it's still good, but it's holy shit hard.
Yeah. Well, much like, Summer Carnival 92 Rekka, which another game that we recognize for it was a fantastic game design-wise, and, like...
Yeah, it did some really amazing
But it
things,
is just
but
ridiculously hard.
there's a reason they call him God.
Okay, so Battle Garaga. Whoa. I think it is. Okay. Soundtrack,
So
on the other hand.
Rising was actually a spin-off of Compile,
Yes.
which is
Rise-
interesting.
Yes, Rising was one of the many offshoots of Compile, mainly the actually competent directors or developers at Compile. So in terms of soundtrack, I'm saying above Viewpoint. The soundtrack's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, but Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
You know what? I liked Silver Surfer's soundtrack a bit better. It had a certain.
'Cause that is one thing. Like the actual composition of the soundtrack is really good, but Silver Surfer just really good.
It went for it. I think the soundtrack in Battle Corrego is good, but it fell into the background.
So the thing about that is Rising does have also a bit of a legacy with Tauplan.
Yeah.
I think they are basically X Compile and X Tauplan kind of merged together into one.
Yeah.
So yeah, Battle Garaga is number 4.
Good news, because I looked at Battle Garaga. Amazon is recommending me all sorts of shmups now, and apparently there is a Toho game for the Switch.
Yeah, Switch is getting Toho games. Hooray.
Jesus.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to
Also,
load up.
Psychonauts is coming out.
I am gonna have to load up this one because I completely forgot that I was gonna do this one.
I just clicked on a link for another Rising game, and it has the best name. They have some really good names.
Is it Armed Police Batrider?
It is Armed Police Batrider.
That's
So-
a really good name.
Just to let so broke something with my. I broke something with the soundtrack.
Oh no.
I'll go fix it later. Yeah. Yeah, Armed Police Batrider is interesting, and I'm looking. That is of the shmups that I know I have left to do. That is the one I'm kind of looking the most forward to. Or one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
So what that game is, it is essentially the King of Fighters, except it's a shmup and it's all Rising games.
Nice.
And it takes a lot of stuff that Battle Garaga did, and makes it's basically an improvement on it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is, I gotta look up what the completely forgot about this game. But I'm like, oh wait.
Ninja Baseball Batman is a really good name as well.
Yes.
Ninja Baseball Batman is a fantastic name, but it is a beat 'em up.
Armed
That has
Police
nothing to do with
Batrider
Batman, just to let you know.
It just
Yeah.
conjures up some weird police on bats fighting crime with guns.
It is about anthropomorphic baseballs fighting crime.
Hell yeah.
Ninja Baseball Batman is
Yes. Let me
a
go.
whole world of really amazing games that I just don't know anything about.
All right, viewers, you're gonna get a special treat. Look it up.
What about Risen?
Just to
Eye?
give
Will
us
you
a
get
little
special
palate
treat?
a little bit of a palate cleanser.
Oh boy.
Oop.
Ryu Hirobasa is really surprised.
All right. Those.
I was hoping it'd be Shel Silverstein next, and it was.
Hell yes.
Wait, forgive me 1 second. Plus RetroArch.
Don't blame yourself.
Okay, so maybe we... Okay. So unfortunately, Ninja Baseball Batman is a very weird game. You should look it up.
Is a very interesting game.
Now back to... Here we go. This is Cosmo Gang the video.
Oh.
Cosmo Gang the video.
So
It does what it says in the box.
Yeah.
So you know how we showed
Oh.
up Parodius?
Yeah, and the cute
That was
ups.
kind
I
of
can...
cute 'em up
Is
version of
this
Gradius.
the most adorable game?
This is a cute 'em up version of Galaga.
The squeaking noises they make are killing me.
All right, let's start.
Cosmo Gang the video. You really can't fault it for its name.
Yeah.
You're supposed to feel good for shooting these things?
It's like Kirby. You know, you're killing very adorable things, but
That one had a really wicked car, and then you shot it.
nice clear. I like this sweet ass cyberpunk city that
It's,
you're shooting over.
it's got a Bubble Bobble vibe to it.
Yes. Oh, that reminds me of another game that I'm gonna have to show up at some point.
Oh my god, he says, oh no, when you shoot him. You are a monster.
These things are too cute to live.
It's Lolo, history's greatest monster. Gang 3. The way the things fly out kind of remind me of Gradius.
Do I have a... Okay, so it is just a shoot. So it is Galaga.
Yeah.
Oh, it deflected my shot.
This game is cute as hell.
It is.
This is a little Space Invaders right here. Just with more angry, suicidal, cute things.
Yeah.
It's just Oh, what?
Oh.
What?
I had a pack
What?
with Jack in the
Spooked
Box and
him.
it caused everyone to be spooked.
That's amazing. Okay, you guys, steal energy.
This is different.
Yeah, it's like the Gator Panic.
Yeah. The way that the guy in like the little car with his mouth and everything is kind of reminding me of the Super Mario Brothers RPG for the Game Boy Advance. His little animation.
I don't know if
Nicely done.
I would... I don't know if I'll get to it. But one of those... Well, actually, maybe it's the next one. Spoil what it is.
What does the P get you?
I think it's points.
You just get so upset when you shoot his car. Does it little flash so that you know where things are coming in from?
Oh, jeez. think so.
So I've noticed a little flash in the background, and I think the enemies come into that point or fly around that point or something.
Mm-hmm.
Nice clear.
I'm really looking forward to the next challenging stage if it's the one that I think of, because I might have to turn it up too, because the music in it is fantastic.
Okay.
Oh. Also, for some reason, oh, I just looked up by my name. I think that P might be a point multiplier.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, 1 up time 7? Yep, 8.
Oh.
Nice clear.
Yeah, you're flying right above hell now.
Yeah.
Oh, they're coming through rips in space-time.
Oh, what are you?
I see, so this is the original theme.
I was also trying to say that the noise that they make when they get hit is really good.
The little squeaky thing?
Yep.
Yeah. I also like that they pitch shift it. It gets really high pitched and stuff.
Also, one thing that's kind of odd.
The skip that the power-up does when it hits the bottom is nice. It gives you an extra chance to pick it up.
Yeah, especially since if you think about this playing this 2-player, how it works simultaneously, it allows your friend to actually pick it up.
Oh, nice.
Oh no! He gives
There's
up.
voice acting. Oh no! They were trying to run away and you shot them.
You knocked off their armor and they tried to run away.
Also, one thing I noticed is that when I died, my score didn't reset.
No.
That's generous.
It's more forgiving than Parodius.
Yeah. Namco arcade games at the time did that, where if you continued that, you don't get your score reset, which is kind of an interesting decision.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Then you shot him. Oh God. Yeah, there's 2 flashes in the background, and then they fly through that point.
Like a reverse Team Rocket.
Team Rocket's blasting in again. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Checking the box.
I definitely really like the variety of stages. Like, you went to hell, a cyberpunk city. Now you're just over the ocean. The deep blue sea.
Whoops. You can live.
So merciful. Oh, we're under the sea now.
Oh,
Ah! You can hear them scream sometimes in there as they die.
I turn away for 1 second, and there's giant hell cute things.
Oh, the special flag.
I don't know what that did.
Did it die?
Is it-
no, my sound settings got screwed up for a sec.
Okay.
You got the flag, and then everything stopped.
Yeah, so that was a Rally X flag.
Yeah. There's so much like
Listen to
effort
this
going
music.
into these sprites. It's really good. Oh no, cowboys!
Oh my god, it's Bonanza.
It is the theme to Bonanza.
Hell yeah!
It's alright if we pick a little fight Bonanza.
The horse.
Like, it's not
has
even a remix of
sunglasses.
Bonanza. It is the theme to Bonanza.
I was trying to clip the horse with sunglasses, but I wasn't
Yeah.
fast enough.
Nicely done.
I love that he actually just used the theme from Bonanza.
Yeah. So. Oh god.
Definitely some difficulty here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely stepping up. What the dragon?
Why does it make monkey noises when you shoot it?
The better question is why not?
Well, I guess. If you could make a dragon make monkey noises, I guess you would. The demonic laughter at the beginning of this, the level's a little disturbing.
Yes.
I'm actually gonna. I think that's enough that we've seen.
That is a high score. Holy smokes!
Yeah. That's what the thing. Oh, it says how many credits it uses.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, that was
Nice.
Cosmo Gang the video.
That's kind of cute. I like that it's
Yeah.
called Cosmo Gang the video.
So
Not video
the
game.
thing is
Just-
about this, there was
Yeah.
a sequel, or not a sequel, but a different game that was Cosmo Gang the Puzzle.
Oh.
Cosmo Gang the
Same.
Puzzle is a game that would be remade in the States as Pack Attack, a puzzle game
Okay.
starring Pac-Man.
Oh. Was Cosmo Gang the puzzle, did it have the same kind of enemy sprites in it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Neat.
Yeah, so let's rank. I was actually rather surprised with that. I wasn't expecting that to be that good. So it's definitely the upper echelon.
No, that was a solid little game.
I kind of want to say that I enjoyed playing that more than UN Squadron.
I can see that.
Yeah. It's very adorable.
Yes, very adorable. But I'd still say Gunneck is a better shmup.
Yeah. Gunneck is pretty good.
Namco game? And the soundtrack, kind of there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very like bubble bobble. It could have been
Simple,
any
cutesy.
Namco game from the 90s, really.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna actually put it right next to, well, but for another game that's another Namco game of the era, I'm gonna put it right next to Ordine,
There you go.
under Ordine.
Because I
Alright,
definitely
so-
feel like the
Go ahead.
interesting thing is the sound effects, not the
Actual
music.
music.
So
Other
yeah.
than the fact that it just straight up uses the theme to Bonanza.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah. So, that's good. Okay. Look. All right. So this is going to be our last game of the night.
Okay. Hey, Sonic.
Hey, blood pouch.
My favorite character.
All right.
Mm.
So this
Field
next
Slams.
game is a... Not... Whoop. Is going to be a Famicom Disk System game.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's different.
Don't forget to set
Because
your
remember
disc
the
card.
two we had Topple Zip and Autoki from the last time, and we know how good those went.
Yes.
However, this will go a little bit differently. This is Sets I Beat.
Oh, that's a good name. Catchy.
This is Gyrus.
Oh, hey.
This
Man, the disc system had good sound.
yes.
Yeah, it did.
So the version of Gyrus that I am more familiar with is the NES version.
Mm-hmm. This has got
Um,
a story, which is weird.
Yeah, so the Famicom Disk System version is very similar to the NES version in terms of content. Like in terms of the actual game. The Famicom Disk System version had that little story intro bit, and also
Where's the music?
it's the attract mode. Doesn't have
Oh, okay.
has that little bit. There is also an ending that is exclusive to the Famicom Disk System version.
The
And
sprites
as you
seem a
can
lot
already
bigger.
see, it is Gyrus, but a little bit more expanded.
Oh, we got special attacks.
So let me go ahead and start. So Control A is how the arcade version controls, which is, if you think about it, holding up will make it so that
Rotate you around the circle.
go. Well, no, it will go so that your ship is at the top of the screen, and if you do it bottom, it will go to the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
Control B is just straight up left and right movement. I prefer Control A.
Yeah.
The sound is good, but I still, in my mind, the C64 soundtrack was the perfect one.
Also, Pluto would have been in between Neptune and Uranus.
Oh.
I mean, depending on where in its
Okay.
orbit.
Well, oh, I'm not sure. Okay. Here's the music.
It's got a nice beat to it.
Yeah.
Yes. So as this is a Famicom Disk System game, one of the main differences between the NES version and this version is the sound, as this uses the Famicom Disk System's extra sound channel.
It's actually got like a kicking beat to it.
Yep.
Like a techno remix of Toccata and Fugue.
Also,
like
here comes another
kick drum?
difference. Mini bosses.
Oh,
Oh, that's fancy.
what is the rest of my Toccata and Fugue?
You have to wait.
I have to shoot the 4 space anuses.
Yep. Yeah, that's actually something that's kind of weird about this, if you think about it as a Famicom Disk System game. Most Famicom Disk System games did not actually use the drum as it uses up too much RAM or something.
Really?
Yeah. So, like, if you listen to, like, because Castlevania 2 was originally a Famicom Disk System game. And you listen to that compared to the NES version, and it does not have nearly as much drum.
This has drum and a half.
Yes. It says drum and the extra sound channel.
Konami said, damn the expense.
We
Also
need
another
that
addition.
drum.
Oh my gosh, a boss?
Yep.
Wow, they really... Liberties were taken with my gyrus.
We need it harder to appeal to the home audience.
Also, it does the thing where it tries to save RAM by not having to draw the button.
Yes.
Made it to Neptune. Have a chance. This music sounds very familiar.
What do you mean?
It reminds me of music for another game.
I
Kind of
don't think it was
Mega
used
Man
in that
vibe
game.
personally, but
Yeah, kinda. Mega Man-y.
I'm getting that last one. I can do 39 again. Alright.
They kept a lot
Yeah.
of sound effects the same, though, like the boosting and everything.
Yeah. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier when we were doing the other version of Gyrus,
yeah.
the chance stage will actually show you how the enemies are going to come in stage.
Next.
Also, we got new enemies.
Space
Got
blobs.
this space blobs, so we got to shoot multiple times.
It's weird that they intersperse the music.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, all the mini bosses are pretty much the same.
Yeah. I was gonna comment on that. This one is less anus and more evil mouths.
Yeah, the Spanus theme has been dropped.
Probably for the best.
Oh, sweet, sweet nectar. It's like my pool is tearing ass around the backyard, but it's staying still.
All right.
I forgot
Still
that you had
waters
that.
run deep.
Thank you, whoever or followed. I did not see what your name was.
I'm just wondering why Lolo triggered Carl talking about his pool tearing ass. But the still waters do run deep.
Oh yeah, different version of the once it's split.
The game is really confusing with the back and forth with music.
Yeah.
Back and wait, what?
Just one stage is Toccata and Fugue, and the next stage is different song. The back to Toccata and Fugue. It's just a different take on it. I
All right,
guess.
time for another boss. But let's get work.
Gonna jitter at you.
He's gonna
Yes.
leave mucus in space. Do you have to impinkin the entire thing?
Yep.
That one green blob was giving you the trouble.
The space ooze.
The space ooze blocking you from Pluto. When you get to Mars, you have to fight Cohagen.
All right.
I like it. It's bigger and brighter than
Yeah.
than previous Gyruses that I've seen.
Yes.
The brightly colored stars are really neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh. We're approaching the planet.
Yes.
Okay. 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 Just now I'm really paranoid about my sound.
Okay.
You're rocking those power-ups.
Yeah. I'm gonna save one for the boss. A couple for the boss, probably. See that many new enemies.
Yeah.
This one is ship
that-
vomiting orb.
That's
Oh,
different.
you got killed by a Metroid.
Definitely starting to shoot more.
You're getting like 6 shots down the lane. I can see flying spaghetti monsters appearing. They hide inside those weird goat head ones.
Now, orb snake.
The terrifying space orb snake.
Not just a snake, but also orb. Do not touch orb.
Orb is dangerous. Hey, look.
It's this guy again.
It's this boss, but rotated 90 degrees. Oh, so that's what your power-ups are.
Yes.
Gotcha. And we've reached the planet.
Wait, did I not get the Super Crush destroyed the one-up?
Oh no.
Makes sense to me.
That's not an enemy.
You super crush your one-up, you're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
Just good game design.
Oh, it's not.
It's what David Cage would do if he made a shmup.
That's right.
Not pissing it.
He would have a giant Willem Dafoe head shoot Ellen Pages.
Exactly. And
And
he'd
then
have
if you-
lots of bad accents. He'd have a lot of really obviously French people trying to do a Boston accent.
It would be the only shmup with like 3-hour-long cutscenes.
A shmup played completely with QuickTime events.
You just sit there and watch enemies come at you, and you gotta press X at the right time to shoot them.
Let's kickstart it.
I'm in.
You'll give Lolo another game to play for his regular shmups.
Why do people start developing more shmups just so you have to
I mean,
play
at
them?
some point, Operation Pug needs a video game adaptation.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
We'll make it a shmup. This isn't related to our theme, which is fantasy, right? But it's a shmup.
I mean, I have played fantasy-based shmups on this show before.
That's true.
Sausage maker.
We're specifically making fun of MMOs, so I'd have to figure out a way of making an MMO shmup.
I take Tabula Rasa doesn't count.
Does Tabula Rasa ever count?
No.
I mean, it's Lord British's finest work other than the Ultimate.
I think you mean
Oh.
General British.
Oh yeah, that's right, he's General British now.
Is that better or worse than Lord?
I don't know.
know.
Like, has he gone to war?
He's gone to
He
space.
fought that
Lord,
pipe that one
Rasa.
time that sent him to the hospital.
True.
But that wasn't more of a fight. That was more of a one-sided beating.
Did you do anything after Tabula Rasa?
He's doing that Shroud of the Avatar game.
I just saw that. I'm like, my god, he's got the gall to make another game.
But by the way, guess what?
It's this
Oh.
guy, but now there's 6.
Well, it's now more blue. And you can shoot at projectiles, so it's actually gotten easier.
Well, some of the projectiles.
Yes.
Alright. Alright. Time to go to Jupiter. Oh. So just in case for some reason I actually do beat this and don't end up dying, I would just go ahead and say, this game actually has no continues.
Oh. I mean, Limelight doesn't seem too hard.
If I remember correctly, there is a boss that is absolutely ridiculous.
Okay.
I wouldn't say thus far it doesn't seem to be much harder than, or like it's usually less hard than like the arcade. Well, except for when you eat that particular.
Yeah, except when I don't see a bullet that's getting shot at me. Oh, that was rude.
Wow, you got.
Damn. Okay, this is
flanked.
where it takes off the kid gloves.
Where you hit the braking asteroid and then just they shoot an actual asteroid at you. So it's like you're just completely hosed.
Initiate hosing. And they just tuck those asteroids in wherever they want.
Yeah.
I'm going to revise my statement that I just made and say it's not immediately as hard as, say, the arcade version.
Yeah.
It has definitely managed to increase its difficulty somewhat. I'm just knocking the covering off the Swedish berry.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Or it's blocking my shots. Oh, okay. If I remember correctly, this is the boss.
It's gone all curry and rice on you. Or melon bread? Is that the other one?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, you had 4 mans in reserve, but now you've only got 1 mans.
Oh, by the way, I should have pointed out, this is actually a fan translation of this version that actually just recently came out.
Oh, really?
Yes. That was actually one of the things that made me want to play this again. Because, yeah, in the original, it was just this giant text scroll in Japanese. But, the ending has no text in it, so... You can at least understand.
There you go.
The opening scrolled so fast, I don't even know what's happening.
There's a human federation in space.
There's a federation,
and
then there's a bad guy, and you're the leader of the rebellion that is trying to destroy the big dictator or something.
Wait, are you trying to get to the sun or Earth? Because I just saw Venus
that is one
pass
difference in the arcade version. In the arcade version, you're supposed to get the Earth. This one, you're getting the sun.
You're gonna blow up the fucking sun.
Earth. We got a
Also,
crash
here are
into
those
the
gates
sun. Yeah, I saw the gates. It's a good mechanic. Why get rid of it?
They gotta kill the evil space emperor and then replace the battery or the light bulb at the center of the sun to make
What
sure
they're
it
going
doesn't
to
go
do
out.
is they're going to drill the center of the sun and kickstart it with a nuke.
Exactly.
Has there ever been a Robotech shmup?
There was a Robotech game, I know that. I don't think it was a shmup though. I think it was more of a, like
More
those
Star
mech-
Foxy?
No, it's more of a flight, like quote unquote flight sim, like I don't know how to describe it because I don't know what it was like. So yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, yeah, you got another life.
It had some flying areas where you just spam missiles, and then it had some kind of shooter Veritech.
No, basically what they do,
robots.
they just take two games and combined them. They took a Macross game and then they took a whatever the other anime that
It was
Robotech
basically
was.
Shogo Armored Division,
Hell yeah.
but branded for Robotech.
Alright, what's the boss
Cross,
of
the
this one?
greatest anime
Oh
about a
boy.
man. Oh, it's this again.
Oh, good.
Well,
Oh.
Well, too bad civilization dies in space.
Yep. I will.
and yep,
That was
That's it?
Gyrus.
That's it. Oh, here it is. Under the mandate of the Earth Federation, humanity embarked on a period of rapid materialization. Ugh. Can't even do it.
yep,
Domith?
yes, Dolith.
Continue, sir. Oh man, this is going fast.
Yeah.
But there is no other path.
What?
That's
It
really
just
low.
starts you again.
What is going on with the sound?
I don't know.
It is like super bass Toccata and Fugue.
Yeah, I guess we're part of the bad guys. But for some reason, we gotta go to the sun.
Yeah.
What happened to
Alright.
the music?
It's the attract mode again.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that was Gyrus for the Famicom Disk System. Slash
And
NES.
it's got a story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can only read it in like chunks, though.
yeah. It's also, if I remember correctly, the original Japanese is like it's full kana or kanji too, so it's like the complicated stuff to read too.
Oh my.
They
Yeah.
realize that no one cares. They just want to get into the action.
Yeah, and then
The
I'm pretty sure
Gyrus.
they did actually shoehorn in a plot. Like there is an equivalent of that screen in the NES version. Actually, you know
Okay.
what? Also, just the surface comparison. Okay. Oh. Come on.
There you go.
That's really good. I like that. That's a good start right
It's a
there.
death-defying risk, and only a hero can succeed. See, it's not like 30 pages of text. It's just fuck this guy up. He's got a big red head. You got to kill him.
Yep.
Wow, this is pretty
evil.
much.
Yeah, it is identical except for the music is slightly different.
Well, I mean, in the graphics are just a little bit more pixely than the Famicom one looked.
Yeah, so for some reason, I don't know why, but oh, I think I know why. I think I might have accidentally hit a key combination to activate a shader,
Oh,
which
Ah,
I actually kind of like the shader.
it's doing the
Yeah.
scan lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I can see it now. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
so I can see it. See, this is the way you need to start a game.
yeah.
All right. So
Are you a bad enough dude to shoot Space Satan?
that's like
Exactly.
Space Sigma, to be honest.
Yeah, kind of Sigma.
True.
All
But
right.
Sigma was just robot Satan, so.
I suppose. But yeah.
Can you
Like,
just start it for 1 second, and then I want to hear what it sounds like without
Okay.
the drums.
Also, there's no loading since it's an NES game.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a definite decline in audio quality already. I mean,
Yep.
the drum isn't as pronounced, but it's still there.
It's
Yeah.
still the drum is definitely still there. It's the main thing you lose is the synth.
Yeah. I mean, even for an NES game, this sounds really good.
Yes. It sounds a lot more subdued.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's not as up in the mix as the Famicom Disk Station version.
So
Yeah, you're right. They definitely the synthesizer is really suffering.
yeah.
Thank you. I just wanted to hear that now that after the Famicom version was fresh in my mind. And it's the same music between the two.
Yep. It is. They just adapted it to use one less channel.
Gotcha.
So. Oh. Where to rank?
Are
Because
you going to rank the Famicom / NES in the same place?
yes,
It's
they are
same
the.
game?
They are for all intents and purposes, they are the same game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Um,
good. It's gyrus. It's got a little bit extra with like the special attacks and different like bosses. So I mean, it adds a little something to the regular gyrus formula.
Yeah. But still, I mean, it's still a gyrus. It's not.
Yeah, and it
needs-
seems to
Yeah.
be like a step easier than the C64 or arcade versions.
Yes, it is definitely a more playable game.
Mhm.
So it's definitely better than the arcade version, but still,
Mhm.
you add in the additional, like the more bosses and power ups. It's it's better, but it's still at the core kind of basic.
Mhm. Yep.
Also, some of those bosses, like it reuses a lot of bosses, and
yep.
also the ones it doesn't reuse, like that one with the flaily arms, is kind of hard to fight because it's like it's
Yeah.
hard to see a path.
He needed to back
Mhm.
off from the outer ring every so often so you could get a few good shots in on him.
Yeah.
So, trying to look. Well, it's definitely it's by nature better than 13, which is Gyros, the arcade version.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'd say it's better than Bosconian.
Okay, you just put them in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd almost the two versions of Gyrus are right next to each. Whoop.
Oop.
I don't know how you did that.
Um, Docs is weird. Oh, 1987 release. Yeah, Gyrus is now number 13, right next to Gyrus, which is number 14.
Yep,
Hell yeah.
I can see it. I
Uh,
personally prefer the arcade soundtrack in that it is the pure toccata and fugue, but that is just me.
Yeah.
Yes. The sound, like, because that's the thing. Like, I was listening, and especially since it's nice how it gets to a different part of the song as you progress closer to the planet, which
Yes.
is really neat.
Yeah.
You have a sense of traveling both in terms of where you are on the track and where you are in the game.
Yes.
Because yeah, and although I will say one thing about the arcade version that kind of makes it not as good, with the fact that it is the first stereo game, they kind of use it in a way that's not that great.
Well, they didn't really have a handle on stereo at that point. They were still figuring out, we can have music going in both the left and right channels as opposed to, guns in this
Well,
channel.
the problem
and
is that they
music.
tend to use the sound, like they tend to use one channel of noise,
Yeah.
which is kind of annoying.
Yep.
But and also the fact that even the new songs that they added are pretty good, and also the fact that it is a really good rendition of
Oh, no, for sure.
Toccata and Fugue in the Famicom Disk System version. NES version, not so much, but
Here's the problem. Do you rate them together or do you rate them separately for soundtrack?
oh, the arcade version, the Famicom Disk System version? Oh, the NES and
Famicom and the
Famicom Disk
NES.
System.
Because there is a marked quality difference between the Famicom
That's
and
probably a good point.
and the NES.
But why don't we do the NES version, because that'll be easier. NES version, definitely inferior.
Yep.
In fact, it's really subdued.
Yep.
So I would put it pretty low.
Okay.
I'm thinking above Parodius for the MSX.
Okay.
Makes it
I'd go with that, yeah.
Technically, I have to put that 19. I want to say this was 89.
Oh, the NES version came out a little later.
Yeah. Ultra. 88.
A good year.
Indeed.
And then the NES version or the Famicom Disk System version. However, I'm gonna actually get in here so I can actually. Or actually, well, how about this? Well, never mind. Okay. So Gyrus for the Famicom Disk System version.
It's up there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean,
The
I kind of want to
synth
put it.
and
You can put it above Gyrus.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely putting it above Gunneck.
Yep.
Squadron. That's a really good soundtrack.
It is.
Even then, is it better than the arcade version?
I don't think so, but I've already said I'm extremely biased towards the normal, or not the normal, but the arcade / C64.
But I would definitely
Gyrus
go with
experience.
you, because if you think of like the Gyrus arcade version does a lot of neat things. Like I like the thematic where it gets, as you get closer to the planet, it kind of progresses throughout the song, which is always nice. Yeah, I'm going to say that the arcade version is better too.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the thing you don't really think of, which I really like about this list you're doing, is that you don't really think that shmups have good music, but there's a lot of good OSTs.
Yeah.
Well, think about the entire Gradius series.
Oh my god, you know,
Yeah.
the SNES Gradius game is still one of my favorite things to listen to.
Yeah, and then, well, I suppose we're going to be doing, well, we did Gradius 2, so the next one...
Gradius and Gradius 2 are both on here.
Yes. Well, Gradius 2 and Gradius 2 are on here as well.
Yes, that's right. You've got Gradius 2 and then Gradius numeral 2.
Yes, because those are two different games.
Um,
Completely different games.
Yeah, Gradius is a deep well.
Yes. And I think Gradius 3 is going to be interesting because I don't think a lot of people have seen the arcade version of that.
Oh, it's true.
That is, if you have not seen the arcade version of Gradius 3, it is definitely a shock with how different that game is.
Really? I've only ever played the Super Nintendo version, so I'm really interested in that.
You played the better version.
Really?
Hmm?
That runs contrary to my experience most of the time.
Well,
I'm not going to say it's unheard of that the arcade version's inferior to the home port, but normally the home port is just that. They take the arcade version, they cut things out to make it work on a console.
want to go a little bit extra?
I can do it.
Yeah.
All right. Not an unprecedented thing. We're adding a game to the list.
It's important.
Okay, so this will be an arcade game. Oh. Okay, RetroArch, why is your keyboard in katakana now?
It's giving you the business, something fierce tonight.
You're gonna have to work for it.
All right, here we go. So this is Gradius 3. It has a subtitle. I forgot what it is.
Gradius 3, Gradius harder.
Oh my! Right off the bat, we've got Space Dragon. Is it the Vic Viper in Gradius?
Vic Viper is the main thing of Gradius.
Okay.
Which right now it's doing something
Strange.
Yeah. Glitched or...
I don't know.
I have to say, I love Gradius music, and I'm really not feeling this music.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I've got the wrong version of the ROM?
This is the audio-only ROM?
Well, it's the quote-unquote world version, which never actually existed. Like, I don't think ever got officially released.
So it's
Because
just a broken ROM.
Yeah, because it's doing something that shouldn't be. What? That is not. Not the manual. Okay.
Might have to look for it for another time.
Well, yeah, because if it takes too long. Well, no, it's not so much I gotta look for like an actual copy of it. I just gotta look. Okay, I think I found it.
Okay.
I just gotta look for it in the giant list of games,
Oh.
and because they're not listed by the name of the thing.
That's helpful.
Okay, actually, this might be a different time because it.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Okay. Anyway, I will look at Gradius 3 some other time, but just There are some things, if you're familiar with the SNES version, that it does differently that kind of make it not good. It is a lot harder than the SNES version in a lot of the wrong ways.
That's never a good thing.
When you get around to it, you should do the SNES version first and the arcade version.
I was actually planning on doing it the other way. Well, I was going to do the arcade version first.
You know what? That's actually probably a better idea.
Yeah.
Because, well, it's, if you think about it, it's you do the first version of it and then you do the port of it.
That makes sense.
True.
So, yes.
Another time.
That's going to be it for tonight.
Hmm.
So, thanks
Good
to
night,
everyone for
Street.
stopping by.
Thank you all for helping us rank these shmups.
Indeed.
Good night.